into your performance in a minute, but as a whole, holding Army to no touchdowns, only 11 points or whatever, you guys stepped up when you needed to, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a great performance. I think it really showed how technically sound we can be. Mostly. I mean, you said it. We held them to no touchdowns. That's pretty much unheard of playing a triple option team. I think we held them to under 300 yards, rushing, maybe even total. So I mean, I think we did a really good job against the option. There's no denying that. So I mean, we have a different challenge coming up this week. So we'll see.
Considering how rough of a week it was last week after the loss in Louisiana Monroe, how good did it feel to get a victory and moving forward going into this Clemson game?
Well, it was a must-win. Everybody knew that. If we didn't win this one, man, it'd have been really rough, really hard for us to get back on our feet. It's really good to go into going to Clemson having a little momentum behind you, a little confidence. It was definitely a confidence builder for the defense. Knowing that we can shut somebody out like that. Hold them to field goals. We had a little adversity and some sudden change during the game. But we held them to field goal. So knowing that we can do that, it just helps going into this next week.
Speak specifically of your performance, man. You had a career game. Do you like going up against the option offense like that or whatever? Is that where you kind of thrive when you're facing the run a lot?
Yeah, I love the triple option. A lot of run, a lot of dive. A lot. My area is A gap to A gap. So, and when you play more conventional teams, you don't get a lot of run through those A gaps. B gap, C gap, stretch. A lot of pass. So, usually when I'm making plays outside of my gap, where I'm making, where I'm running to the sideline or doing other things. So, playing the triple option teams, they're coming right at me. I don't have to do much work for it. So, I love playing the triple option. I've done it for forever. My first good game I ever had at Wake Forest was against Navy. I think I had like 11 tackles that game. So it's always been good to me.
How does your performance, when you have a performance like that up front, kind of like the anchor of the defense, how does that filter out to the rest of the defense, the linebackers, the secondary, and all that or whatever, with that type of leadership that you're providing?
I think it just makes it easier, especially linebackers and safeties and all that. It just makes it easier on them, knowing that they really don't have to. When they have a read going to the B gap, they don't have to check A gap before they go B gap, or they don't have to worry about a center or a guard getting up on them and getting to their legs because they're worried about me and things like that. I think it just makes everybody's job easier. Starting in the center of the defense and handling that well, and as you're going into the next weeks, when you have a great game, the next couple of weeks are going to be tough because everybody's going to be like, oh, we got to stop so and so, whether it's me or Justin. So going into this next week, I'm really thinking I'm getting a lot of double teams, which is going to help free up Mike Olsen and Chubb. So I think it helps everybody all around, but mostly our front seven.
Take me back to 2 years ago when you guys went down to Death Valley, field goal away from winning that game and contending for an ACC championship. And they were a highly ranked team then, too, and you guys almost pulled off the upset then. What are you taking from that experience, especially down to these younger guys who will be playing in Death Valley for the first time, as far as, hey, we did it then, we can do it this year too?
Oh man, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of tired of hearing about that game. It was a heartbreaker. We could have won, should have won, but that was then and this is now. We're a different team. We have different players. I think we're a better team than we were then. I think they're doing great this year. So I think we have a great opportunity to go down there and win. That was 2 years ago. I mean, you came in. It's hard to look at film from 2 years ago and really get a read on what the team is doing. If anything, you look at last year, and last year we weren't even close. So, you just got to look at it like that. Last year we weren't even close, so this year we really got to step it up. 2 years ago, that was 2 years ago. That's too long to really reminisce and take back. So, just going into the game, try to play our best.
As far as the extra work that you guys put into practice last week, and it's paying off. What are the players saying going into this week of practice as far as maybe taking accountability to the coaches and saying, hey, we noticed that the hard work we put in paid off. Work us like that this week. Are you guys kind of like taking that approach?
I don't think so much the coaches. The coaches kind of leave it up to us to do our own thing. As far as intensity during practice. So, they'll say it here and there, but, especially as a defense, we try to just keep intensity going throughout the week. And I think that might have faltered. I mean, that might have dipped off a little bit before the ULM game, but we picked it back up in Army, so we don't just kind of keep it rolling. We got 8 more games. Just got to keep that intensity up. Yesterday was a Monday. It's hard to get a feel on what practice is going to be like. You don't have pads on. You're just introducing your defenses and stuff like that. So today will really be the test of if we can be that team that comes off a win and continues to get better.
Atmosphere like at Clemson, they come running down that hill, everybody's in orange. What's that like there?
It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming for sure. More so for our offense than our defense, because when their offense is on the field, they quiet down. They want Taj to get the play in and things like that. But I think the biggest thing that I do remember from the game 2 years ago, and that I think about a lot was, when we went up, how quiet it got. It was just a total switch from the loudest place I've ever been to the most silent place I've ever been. So I'm hopefully we can get that silence again. It'll be a sweet silence.